You have your entire page done with your Aestheometry, and I will go ahead and open mine up to give you take a quick look at that. This is what a completed sheet looks like. This is what it looked like at the end of video number 2. What we're going to do is we're going to call this design the apple core design, because you can kind of see this in here, how it looks like an apple that had someone eaten around the edges, and this looks like an apple core. And then there's another apple core, and another apple core, and an apple core, and they're everywhere. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to go ahead and we're going to kind of start back at the beginning by creating a new image. And just like we did at the very first time, we went 600 by 600 for our width and height. We gave it our last name, and we're going to go call this Aestheometry 2, because this will be a challenge piece for you if you are finished with your other piece and have it uploaded already for grading, and hit OK. Now remember, this takes you back to the square piece. Now remember, we're going to select the shapes drawing tool, and then across the top we're going to select the straight line, opacity 100, mode normal, and our size. If you remember, we took that to 5, and again click down on the big black box. You could choose whatever color you wanted to work with. I'm going to choose to just continue to work with straight black. So once you have that set, and remember, darker colors seem to work a little bit better, I'm going to hit OK. Then I'm going to do what I did before to draw my first. I'm going to click, hold it down, drag it up, get to the edge of my paper, let go, click, drag, let go, click, drag, let go. And if you happened to save this particular square that you did before all by itself before you took it into and made it into the entire sheet, if you happen to save that in Drive somewhere and it's just sitting there waiting, you'll be able to just go ahead and use that, and you'll have to just kind of wait through or speed through the video here a little bit until I get to that section where you're going to know what you're going to do with your square this time. But it really truly doesn't take that long to create a new one. And then remember, you want to stay fairly consistent with the width of your the space between the previous drawn line. When you hit that wall, remember, we don't go through the wall, we just bounce onto the wall. And we're just going to keep going here. It's not going to take too much longer. And this is so much faster than drawing it all by hand with a ruler and a pencil. But it is good to still practice and do some things the old-fashioned way, the old hard way. So that's okay. That got us to know the concept that we were going to be working with, and that was very helpful with what we were going to do. So we're just going to kind of finish this out. And you probably are doing a much nicer job, having them much closer together to create a much more intricate illusion than what I am doing, but that's okay. Mine is just for instructional purposes only. And we're just about there. And just a couple more. And we'll call that one pretty close. Okay, so now we have the completed one done. Again, you could save this and you could put it into your Drive, so you do have a single piece. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Image, and we're going to go to canvas size. And remember, we want to leave the blue box in the upper left corner. And now this time we're going to change this to 3600, and we're going to change the width to the height to 2400 and the width to 3600 pixels. Hit OK, and again up in our navigator pane in the upper left hand corner, we can see now that we have a much larger page. And you can zoom in or zoom out to get to that point. There we go. I think I'm going to want to zoom at about 40% maybe. Oh, and maybe if I drag this out, whoa, dragging the whole thing around. Drag this wall out just a little bit. And I think we can do a little bit more adjusting. If I can zoom that maybe to 30% is a little bit high yet. 20% seems to work. So let's go with that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to unlock this layer, and we're actually going to rename it as layer 1, and that is going to tell us that that's the first one on the page. So then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to drag that layer, click and drag, and we're going to drag it onto this little sheet of paper, not the trash can where it says delete layer, but where it says new layer. And we now have a layer 1 copy. So we're going to rename that as layer 2. Okay, so if we take our move tool, we can move that one over just like we did with our other ones. But now for this one, what I want you to do is I want you to go Edit, Transform. Oh goodness, it selected a whole big thing. I'm not sure I'm going to like it to do it that way. Let's delete that layer. So we'll hit return, and we'll just kind of trash that layer, and we're going to do it like we did before. We're going to just come in with the selection tool and select that little bit, and we're going to copy, and we're going to paste, and then we're going to use our move tool to move it up into place. And so still we see our apple core design showing up. So we're going to go Edit, Image. Let me see, Image, will this won't let us do Image. Okay, so let's do Flip Layer Horizontal. So I'm under Layer at the top, Flip Layer Horizontal. Okay, so now you see a new pattern developing. So now again we're going to paste that layer that we had at the beginning. This one we will not need to adjust. We'll need to just move it up into place, and then we can go ahead and we can paste another layer and move it into place, and then we need to go Layer, Flip Layer Horizontal. And then I think you can see the pattern that we're going to do. We're just going to keep pasting, and every other one that we put in there, and this is the last one in this row, we're going to do the Flip Layer Horizontal. Okay, so now that we've done that, we need to think, we're going to go ahead and paste another layer, and we need to think about this layer. Did we flip the layer on top of that one? No, we didn't. So that means that we need to flip this layer. So we're going to flip it like a checkerboard every other one. So layer, flip layer, horizontal. Again, we're going to paste. Now, if we flipped this layer, should we flip this layer? No. Okay, and you can line it up. And then we'll just keep pasting a layer. Now, did we paste that one? No, we see apple cores there. So we can get it put into place. And then we'll go layer, flip layer horizontal. We'll paste us another layer. And we'll go ahead and move it into place. And we see the new pattern that we're working with, so we don't need to do anything else. Paste another one. If we put it in place, do we see the pattern we need to? No. So again, we're going to layer, flip layer horizontal. And we're going to keep doing this until our page is full. So now you can kind of start thinking about what is the pattern going to be. Do I know what I need to do next? And you're going to go ahead and just fill your page this way. And this is what we're going to call the seashell pattern. The other pattern was called the apple core pattern. This is called the seashell pattern. And it just, you have to basically, you really have to concentrate and think, what did I do last time? Did I flip it last time? Yes. So then do I have to flip it this time? No. But now I got to look at this one. I see apple cores instead of seashells, so that's my clue that I need to flip that one. One more row to go and we'll be done. And I'm starting seeing apple core, so I need to flip that layer. I'm going to paste another one. I didn't flip the layer before, so I don't need to flip this one. I see apple cores instead of seashells, so I need to flip that one horizontal. I need to paste another layer in, line it up, and I'm going to keep going, seeing if I need to flip the layer or not, until I have my whole page finished. And now in this one you can see where it looks like seashells. We've got them top to bottom, we've got them side to side, top to bottom, and side to side. So this is your new pattern, so you could file, save, and you can save this. I'd again go to 100%. and save it to your computer just like we've been doing before. And then once it's in your files, you could then drag that image onto your drive, and then it would also be saved in Drive. Now this is not one that I'm going to have you hand in. This is just kind of an extra one to do to kind of challenge you and to kind of give you other ways of thinking of how you could use this particular one single square to turn it into a multiple squares pattern.